Hi, and welcome to Global Insight.
So, what is the art scene like in Argentina?
Here in Argentina, it's difficult because of the economical situation we're living and the political situation. Arts and culture has been devaluated year after year after year, and now we are on the bottom, I think. Still, we have a lot of open calls. We have a lot here in Argentina. It's very common to have art salons, which are museums that have exhibitions, and they give a prize to the best painting, to the best sculpture, to the best artwork. And this is still happening with a little money, but it's still happening. And it's very difficult for all artists to participate because if it's physical art, you have to frame your art, you have to ship your art, and things are expensive. Um, so it's happening, but it's not for everyone because if you can't afford it, you can't participate. Regarding digital art, um, it's uh, I think it people is getting what is digital art, but very slowly. For example, uh, 5 years ago, I told my galleries that I wanted to showcase also my digital paintings, and she told me, "No, no, NFTs. I don't like. It's a scam. I don't get it. Why people should pay for a shapey she?" And now we are having by the end of June, in Buenos Aires, we have a, a very important art fair, and they are including for the first time a digital art exhibition. So in 5 years, things have changed a lot regarding what is digital art and what are the possibilities of showing, of exhibiting, and of selling digital art in a country like Argentina, which is uh, very delay with everything, especially with technology and with that concept of digital art. But it's happening. It's happening. I am going to be part of that exhibition. I'm lucky to be with another great artist that maybe you know, which is Santiago Sares. Usually, everything starts with an idea of something I want to develop, or I want to think of myself as an storyteller. We are always telling stories, and first I need to write what I want to tell. For example, in my last, I think it was my last series, which is called The Constructions. What I do is to study for several years Bosch and Bruegel paintings, which are classical painters, and then what I did is to combine that processes or they processes with the idea of the construction to recreate everything from scratch through the eyes of I am a Latin American woman. So uh, I use saturated colors because of that, because I have indigenous roots too. So it's a way to create a tribute to my people and to use the art from a time when women were not allowed to study art. Everything starts with a story that I write and with a study of art because I'm very uh, I'm a huge fan of art history. So that's mainly the process. But yeah, the study, then there is a lot of time doing sketches, pencil sketches, very detailed pencil sketches to create the atmosphere, the composition. And once I'm happy with that, or more or less happy with that, I move on with the color. And it's very similar for digital, for physical. The process is always the same. The materials may be changed, but the process is the same. I like AI a lot, and I think there are amazing artists, but my processes are different, and I don't use AI because they don't. At least until now, AI it doesn't fit with my creative processes. So that's why I don't use it. I like it, but it's not for me. Maybe for my processes, and I make a distinction because I work a lot for creating an artwork, a painting, a sculpture, especially if it's an oil painting. It can take me a few months sometimes. So AI is more. Uh, it allows more faster processes, and you can create a lot of pieces and in very short times, and it's okay. But I think it's important to make that distinction because sometimes artworks can take a lot of study, of technique, of processes, of time of doing things. And that's why I do that distinction. In my case, it takes me a lot to create. I'm not very prolific as if I used AI. I know that, but it's okay. My mother was a sculptor, so I grew up in her studio. Since I was little, I was already drawing and painting and watching her working. So it started at the very beginning of my age. And then I went to university and studied fine arts. I got an art degree with a specialization in painting. It was a long time ago because I'm not a kid anymore. And at those times, at least I live in Argentina, and at those times, digital art was not part of the art career. So everything I learned after that was by my own. When I was, I have worked for an illustrator for several years too, and I learned to use softwares like Photoshop and Illustrator by creating some illustrations. But it was on, I think on 2020 when I bought my first iPad during lockdown, and that was the first time that I applied digital art to my art career, my art creation, my art processes, my most personal artwork, not as an illustrator, as an art creator. So I think it was Procreate, the first software I used for that experiences, and I create a series of drawings where I try all the texture and the brushes that the software has. It was very fun. And also some paintings. And then I started also using I have a Wacom tablet, and I started applying that to my artistic processes. I work a lot with digital. I work a lot with also with physical. So it's like a feedback between all the medias and the experimentations all the time. Sometimes I got bored of working with digital and went back to physicals. And when I'm bored of working with physicals, I come back to digital art, and I come and go all the time. I bought a VR headset a few years ago, and I have done a lot of sculptures in different softwares, and I always think in 3D and in all the dimensions as possible. So I think it's very connected. It's very connected because especially that was something I experienced when I bought the Oculus Quest. It was that I wanted to develop more depth in my paintings, and was thanks to the sculptures. I want to thank you, to thank people for connecting with my art, for following me, for the support with comment, with a word, with a retweet, with everything. Everything counts, and everything, especially now that things are very difficult. It's like something that I appreciated a lot, like a gesture very important to me. So I want to thank you all for that, for your support, for your time, people for taking the time to see my painting, which I know that you have to take some minutes to watch them, to observe, to analyze them. So thanks everyone for taking that time, because lately nobody has time.